What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. Today, it is time that we answer the simple question: did Roe vs. Wade truly affect the 2022 midterms? And I'm talking about, not a 1-point shift in turnout with liberals. I'm talking about a substantial amount of shift among voters, where it probably affected the Senate. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to be discussing, did that really happen here? Or is it just Republicans had piss poor messaging? Well, let's go over it today. Now, before I continue, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. That's right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. Only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal to help support the daily content. We all love that daily content. So I hope you join today. Alright, folks, let's get into today's topic. Did Roe vs. Wade being overturned truly affect the 2022 midterms? And again, like I said in the intro, I'm not talking about a 1% increase in Democrat turnout, alright? No, I'm talking about a substantial amount of voters potentially being swung because of Roe versus Wade. Well, let's just start with the simple fact. Let's look at the shift map of the Senate. Well, as you know, I made many topics about this. It made no frickin' sense. But there's a couple states I do want to highlight the most. Let's start with the state of Nevada. This is undoubtedly one of the most pro-choice states in the country, by far. There's no question about it. This is one of the most pro-choice states in the country. Yet, even with all the BS, alright, Laxalt only lost by under a point. And he would have won this race if this stupid, none of these candidates option was on the ballot, and if the libertarians did not exist. Once again, I am getting sick and tired of the same crappy third-party candidates that keep shafting us over and over and over again. But look at the shift map. You notice that, according to this map, Laxalt did better than Trump in Clark, Reno, Story County, Douglas, etc. But where did he underperform Trump the most? The parts that he couldn't afford to underperform that much. The rural working class base of the state of Nevada. This is the blood red parts of the state. You cannot afford to lose this big of a shift with rural voters. Do you really think in the state of Nevada that Clark County is essentially cares less about abortion than the voters in rural Nevada? No. This is one of my best case studies to point to. No, I really do not think Roe versus Wade had that big of an impact. Because if it did, we would have saw this in California. Look at this. Look at LA. Look at San Francisco. Look at the Bay Area. It all shifted dramatically Republican. Look at the Central Valley. Look at this. You really think that Roe versus Wade suddenly made these 13-point shifts in underperformance? There should have been a 20-point shift? No. What we're seeing is simple. Roe versus Wade in a lot of states really didn't matter. It truly didn't matter because some of these shifts, first of all, the Democrats made the most gains in the more Republican rural parts of the state, the more Trumpy parts of the state. Look at Ohio. Look at Appalachia, one of the most Trumpy parts of the country. It shifted dramatically Democrat. But look at the Cincy area. Look at the Columbus area. There really wasn't that big of a shift. So where is this Roe versus Wade argument coming from? Look at New York. Similar deal as California. Look at the shift in New York City. And this is the Senate race. This should have been a, less a Republican shift. But it was still a multiple double-digit, I think 30-point shift towards Republicans. From the presidential level was like a 10-point shift. But you can keep going. Look at Connecticut, same deal. The only states that a substantial movement to the left, all right, compared to the national environment, was Pennsylvania, Colorado, and Arizona. Pennsylvania, what happened here? The early vote lead was too much for odds to overcome. We have data to prove this. Plus, white working class voters did not turn out. Were they turned off because Roe versus Wade got abolished? Bull crap. Colorado? Same deal. O'Dea, this electoral god, according to some of these people, he roughly even with Trump in Denver. He did basically the same as Trump in Denver when he was running as a moderate Joe Manchin Republican, He wasn't that pro-life. He flip-flopped on abortion like 15 times. But look at the biggest movements. The rural parts of the state. In fact, we have more and more evidence to say he almost costed Boebert. Don't start this crap of the gubernatorial candidate. Same deal. That clown, look at where she did best in the primary. The Denver area. Both of the candidates Republicans had running in Colorado for statewide races, they did best in the Denver area compared to Trump, but collapsed in the rurals. So you could just keep going on and on and on. Illinois, Republicans did better in the Chicago area, but they collapsed in the rural parts. So you're meaning to tell me the voters in Chicago do not care about abortion, but the voters in, Gallatin, Illinois, that shifted 23 points Republican or Democrat, they care more about abortion? No. If there was a true shift for Roe voters, we would have saw a consistent trend. The only trend we saw was rural Trumpy parts of the country collapsed for Republicans. Utterly imploded. And it's best seen in the House. Same deal. Look at California. Old shift to Republican. New York. Same deal. Florida. Old shift to Republican. Nevada. Old shift to Republican. Where do Republicans underperform? The blue-collar Trump parts of the country. Michigan. I've beat a dead horse over this. Michigan 7th and Michigan 8th. They're blue-collar Trump seats. And Republicans collapsed here. So, where is this crap that this is somehow Roe versus Wade that caused this? Where? Sure, there's maybe some races, Michigan, maybe. Some states that had abortion on the ballot, maybe it shifted it by a point. Maybe. But we have not seen a consistent trend where the Roe versus Wade vote truly impacted the vote. And look at the exit polls. According to Fox, only 8% of voters said abortion was the number one issue. And even then, it wasn't as Democrat as we expected it to be. So you can keep looking, and you realize, while in some parts, maybe it shifted by a point. Maybe. There's really no trend to say that the opposite happened. That Roe voters made this into a neutral year. What really happened? Republicans had terrible messaging when it came to both the economy and abortion. Guys, Republicans, they did not hammer the fact home that Democrats want essentially post-birth abortion. Look at California. They're about to pass a post-birth abortion bill where 3 days or a week after the baby's born, suddenly it could die and nobody would be affected or get criminally charged for it. What do you think they mean by that? Guys, that's what happened in 2020 or 2022. They sucked at the economy. They did not have a clear, coherent message on the economy, but also failed to focus on Democrats' extremist positions on abortion. They should have united on a federal late-term abortion ban, not this message of oh, we're gonna just leave it, just leave it to the states and call it a day. No, focus on the fact Democrats want taxpayer-funded abortions and late-term abortions. Plus, I'm being honest with you, even if it truly did affect 15 House seats or 2 Senate seats, I think it was worth it. I can care less. We have millions of unborn babies that have been murdered since this grotesque decision was made in 1973. Tens of millions. I can care less if this actually affected the House or Senate at all. And I have my doubts. Based on the swings we saw, the more Trumpy parts of the country made its dramatic swing to the left. And I'm making a whole video, a whole case study showing the biggest shifts happened with blue-collar, Obama-Trump type of voters, you know, the Trumpy vote, all right? They're called Trumplicans. I'm making a whole video detailing what really happened, why these voters shifted Democrat, and prove it was these voters that did not turn out enough. All right? That'll be a whole case study because it's kind of shocking from some of the things I did see. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.